Book of Heaven Volume 2, Call of the Creature to the Order, the Place and the Purpose for which he was created by God, by the servant of God Luisa Piccarreta. Page 51-56. June 17, 1899. Luisa does not want to take part in the chastisements. It continues always in the same way, but this morning especially, I have done nothing but argue with my dear Jesus. He wanted to keep sending the hail, as he did in these past days, and I did not want it. But then, in the middle of this, it seemed that a thunderstorm was getting ready, commanding the demons to destroy several places with the scourge of hail. At that very moment, I saw the confessor calling me from afar, giving me the obedience to go and put the demons to flight, so that they might not do anything. As I went out to go there, Jesus came to meet me, making me draw back. I said to him, "Blessed Lord, I can't, it is obedience that called me, and you know that you and I must surrender to this virtue, without being able to oppose it." And Jesus, "Well then, I will do it for you." And so he commanded the demons to go to places farther away, and not to touch, for now, the lands belonging to our town. Then he said to me, "Let us go." So we came back, I into my bed, and Jesus beside me. As we arrived, Jesus wanted to rest, saying that he was very tired. I stopped him, saying to him, "What is this sleep that you want to have now? And then, a beautiful obedience you had me do, you want to sleep. Is this the love you have for me, and the way you want to content me in everything? Do you want to sleep? Sleep then, as long as you give me your word that you won't do anything." Being sorry for my discontent, he told me, "My daughter, yet, I would like to content you. Let us do it this way, let us go out together again in the midst of people, and let us see who are those who need to be punished because of their wicked actions, who knows whether, at least under the scourge, they might surrender. And then, those whom you want, those who need less to be punished, and whom you don't want to be punished, I will spare. And I, Lord, I give you thanks for your highest goodness in wanting to content me, but in spite of this I cannot do what you are telling me. I do not feel the strength to put my will in chastising any of your creatures. What would be the torment of my poor heart in hearing that that person or that other has been chastised, and I have put my will in it? May it never be, O Lord." Then, the confessor came to call me into myself, and so it ended. June 19, 1899, Instability in Doing Good. Yesterday, having gone through a day of purgatory because of the almost total privation of my highest good, and because of the many temptations that the devil put in me, it seemed to me I committed a lot of sins. Oh God, what pain, to offend God. This morning, as soon as I saw Jesus, immediately I said to him, "Good Jesus, forgive me for the many sins I committed yesterday," and I wanted to tell him all the evil I felt I had done. Interrupting me, he said to me, "If you make yourself disappear, you will never commit sins." I wanted to continue to speak, but Jesus, making me see many devout souls and showing he did not want to hear what I wanted to tell him, began again to speak. That which most displeases me about these souls is their instability in doing good. One little thing, one disappointment, even one defect, is enough, and while that is the time in which it is more necessary for them to cling more to me, they become irritated, they get disturbed, and they neglect the good which they had started. How many times I have prepared graces to give to them, but in seeing them so unstable, I have been forced to hold them back. Then, knowing that he did not want to hear anything of what I wanted to tell him, and seeing that my confessor was not well in the body, I prayed at length for him, and I asked Jesus various questions, which it is not necessary to say here. And Jesus, benignly, answered everything, and so it ended. June 20, 1899, the love with which Saint Aloysius operated. It continues always in the same way. This morning, it seems that Jesus wanted to cheer me a little bit, after I had gone in search for him for some time. I saw a child from afar, like lightning that falls down from heaven. I ran up to him, and as I arrived, I took him in my arms. A doubt came to me that it might not be Jesus, so I said to him, "My dear little treasure, tell me, who are you?" And he, "I am your dear and beloved Jesus." And I to him, "My beautiful little baby, I pray you to take my heart and bring it with you to paradise, for after the heart, the soul too will come." Jesus seemed to take my heart, and he united it so much with his own that they became one. Afterwards, heaven opened. It seemed that a very great feast was being prepared. At that very moment a young man of lovely appearance came down from heaven, all dazzling with fire and flames. Jesus told me, "Tomorrow is the feast of my dear Aloysius, I must go attend." And so you leave me alone, what shall I do? And you too will come. Look at how beautiful Aloysius is, but the greatest thing in him, which distinguished him on earth, was the love with which he operated. Everything was love in him, love occupied him interiorly, love surrounded him externally, so, one can say that even his breath was love. This is why it is said of him that he never suffered distraction, because love inundated him everywhere, and with this love he will be inundated eternally, as you see. And in fact it seemed that the love of Saint Aloysius was so very great, as to be able to burn the whole world to ashes. Then Jesus added, "I stroll over the highest mountains, and there I form my delight." Since I did not understand the meaning of it, he continued, "The highest mountains are the saints who have loved me the most, and in them I form my delight, both when they are on earth, and when they pass into heaven." So, everything is in love. After this, I prayed Jesus to bless me and those whom I was seeing at that moment, and he, giving his blessing, disappeared. June 21, 1899, Jesus says, "For love of you I will not leave Corrado." Jesus jokes with Luisa. Since he was not coming, I kept thinking, who knows whether Jesus will not come any more, leaving me in abandonment. And I would say nothing but, "Come my beloved, come." All of a sudden he came and told me, "I will not leave you, I will never abandon you. You too, come to me." Immediately I ran to place myself in his arms, and while I was like this, Jesus continued, "Not only will I not leave you, but for love of you I will not leave Corrado." Then, almost without my realizing it, in one instant he disappeared. I remained with a yearning for him, more than before, and I kept saying, "What have you done to me? How is it? So quickly have you gone away from me, without even saying goodbye?" While I was pouring out my pain, the image of baby Jesus which I have near me seemed to become alive, and every now and then he would put out his head from within the glass bell to see what I was doing, and when he would see that I noticed, immediately he would go back inside. I said to him, "It shows that you are too impertinent, and that you want to behave like a child. I feel I'm going mad with pain because you are not coming, and you are there playing. Well then, play and joke as you please, for I will have patience." June 22, 1899, Luisa does not let Jesus sleep. This morning, my sweet Jesus wanted to continue to play his little games with me, and to joke. He would come, he would place his hands on my face in the act of wanting to caress me, but as he was about to do it, he would disappear. Then he would come again, he would stretch out his arms around my neck in the act of wanting to hug me, but as I stretched out my arms to hug him, he would escape me like a flash, and I could not find him. Who can say the pains of my heart? While my heart was swimming in this sea of immense grief, to the point of feeling life abandoning me, Queen Mama came, carrying a child in her arms. We hugged, the three of us together, Mama, the son, and I, so I could have the time to say to him, "My Lord Jesus, it seems to me that you have withdrawn your grace from me." And he, silly, silly little one that you are. How can you say that I have withdrawn my grace when I am within you? What is my grace if not myself? I remained more confused than before, seeing that I was unable to speak, and that in those 2 words I had uttered, I had spoken nothing but nonsense. Afterwards, the Queen Mother disappeared, and Jesus seemed to enclose himself in my interior, and there he remained. Today then, during the meditation, he made himself seen sleeping inside of me. I was looking at him, delighting in his beautiful face, but without waking him up, content with at least seeing him when, in one instant, the beautiful Queen Mama came again. She took him from within my heart, shaking him hurriedly so as to wake him up. After he woke up, she placed him in my arms again, telling me, "My daughter, don't let him sleep, because if he does, you will see what happens." A thunderstorm was preparing. Half asleep, the baby stretched out his little hands around my neck and clasping me, he said to me, my mama, let me sleep." And I, no, my beautiful one, I am not the one who does not want to let you sleep, it is Our Lady Mama that does not want it, and I pray you to content her. It is certain that nothing can be denied to a mama, and besides, to that mama. After I kept him awake for a little while, he disappeared, and so it ended.